Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video, I will show you how to upload files to iCloud in native iOS application. So we will be performing CRUD operation like create, read, update, delete for a file in native iOS application. I will be using UI kit, but if you want, you can use Swift UI as well. The UI logic is very less. Just to keep things simple, I'm using UI kit. So just click on create new project. Select iOS, select app, click next. Here you can give it whatever name you feel like, so I will just name it as my awesome file app. Okay, and be careful with the bundle identifier. So if you want, you can change it later on as well, but I'll just keep it this for now because the bundle identifier is very important. Also, you would require a paid Apple developer account. I'm using my friend's account, so yeah. So I'll just click on next. I'll click on create. So yeah, let's just wait a second. I'll go to sign in and capabilities. Oh, I think this is catching up. Okay, so here you can see you will have to click on this plus capability button. You will have to click on iCloud and just enter over here. Then I'll check all these check boxes. Then I'll just copy this bundle identifier which we have, and I'll click on this plus button again, and first I'll enter iCloud dot and paste our bundle identifier. Just remove any extra spaces if there are at the start and end of the file, and I'll click on OK. It is updating our provisioning profile, so you would require a proper Apple ID as well. Okay, that's fine. Then I'll just go to our view controller. Now I will copy a bunch of code. Also, to test this, you will have to test it on a real iOS device. I'm not sure if it will work on simulator. I don't try to test this kind of things on simulator because sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Okay, just give me a second. I'll copy this bundle identifier again. So I'll just explain you the code. Like I have already written the code, so yeah, I'll just explain it. So first we are importing UI kit as well as cloud kit. Okay, then here is our view controller, and here is our database. Now this should be our the container ID which we have written, so I'll have to change it to my own bundle identifier, so something like this. And I'm using private cloud database, like I don't want to use public cloud database. Also make sure the user needs to sign in with iCloud on their device. I haven't added that particular check. If you want, you can add that check as well, just to check whether the user has signed in into their iCloud account or not. Yeah, and here you can see I have just created one method called create button. I have 4 buttons: create, read, update, delete. So I have just named it as button 1, button 2, button 3 and button 4. So yeah, here is a simple code which I'm using, and here we are setting the constraints for all of our buttons, so they are just one below the other. So yeah, feel free to copy this code. Okay, then I think I did a mistake over here. This should be print statement. Sorry about this. I'll just rectify this. We'll just remove this. Okay, just give me a second over here. I'll just rectify everything. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll remove this, and I'll remove this as well. Okay, so here I have set NS layout constraints to all our buttons. Then on the first button click, here we just do create file in cloud. So I will show you this method in shortly, but this is the content which we are passing it inside our file. So we are uploading a text file, and once it is successful, I'm just printing this particular thing out. This is for reading the file. Again, once it is successful, I'm just printing this out. In case if the file does not exist, we just say no content found. Then this is the third button, update file in iCloud. So here again we are passing the new content. So this is the content we are updating it with, and once it is success, we again just update this particular thing as well. And here is our fourth button, so we just do delete file from cloud as well. So once it is success, we just do file deleted as well. So first this is create file in cloud. Now there is one more thing which I want to highlight at the very start. So suppose if you are like giving the user the option to create a button now, then it can be a little bit problematic, because here you can see I have this file. I'm creating a file with this particular name, right? You can change the name to whatever you feel like, but it is possible to have a file with multiple file with same name in iCloud. So this can cause a little bit of problem in your case. So I haven't added that particular check whether we see whether this particular file already exists or not before creating it. Maybe you can add that particular check, but yeah, I just wanted to keep things simple. But yeah, that's the heads up which I wanted to give you, that it could very well be possible that there could be multiple files with same name. Then this is the file URL. Then we just write the content to our file URL. Then we create a CK asset passing it the file URL. Then we create a CK record as well. Here is our file storage, and here we create the record file of asset. Then we just do database.save record. Okay, and here is our error. If it is error, then we just print the error out and completion is false. In case it is success, then we just send completion as true, and in case of another error, we again print it out and completion is false. And then next one is read file from cloud. Again, this is another completion handler. So here we first have to create a query. Okay, then we just fetch the data from our database. So we just this is how we fetch it, and we fetch the first matching record out of it, and if it is success, then we get the file URL out of it. Then we read the contents of it, and then we just send the contents inside our completion handler. In case if there is any error, we just print it to the console and the completion is nil as well. So maybe here also we can add something, error reading the file, if you want, again just for in case if something goes wrong. And this is for failure case as well. Next one is update file in cloud. Again, we create a query, we like pass the query inside our database, then we check for it, like this is the success thing. We get the first result out of it. If it is success, then we just get the pass the file name, updated text file.txt. This is the file name, and here we pass the file URL as well, and we write the contents to our file URL, and then we just create a CK asset, assign it to our record file, then save it to our database, and yeah, just if it is success, pass completion handler as true, else false, and write it to the console. Then delete file from cloud as well. So here we create a CK query, then we just do database.fetch, passing our query to it, and result limit I have kept it as 1. So once we get the record, I just get the first record out of it, and then we just do database.delete, pass the record ID to it. If it is error, then we just say completion as false, otherwise completion is true, and here also completion as false and completion as false as well. So yeah, that's it. The next thing what you need to do is we'll have to run it on a real iOS device, but I'll just do that. But you have to go to icloud.developer.apple.com and sign in with your iCloud account, the same account which you are using on your iPad, just to verify it on iCloud console things are working or not. Okay, so I have already logged in. Here you will have to, once you have signed in, you will have to click on CloudKit database, and over here you should see your container ID. So like you can see the container ID over here, but we haven't run our application yet. Like these are container ID from other applications. I'm not sure if we are able to see it. I think we are able to see it. My awesome file app, right? That's the name. Yep, that's the name, my awesome file app. So I think it is available even before running our application. So I think the provisioning profile automatically Xcode communicates with our iCloud container. So here you can see, now we'll have to go to private database, record type. Again, we are not able to see the record type. So let me just run the application and then try. When we run the application, like when we create a file for the very first time, it will create the file, but it will throw error on CloudKit console. We won't be able to read it. The reason being, we need to index few things, but for this we'll need to first create the file. I know this is little bit, I'm not able to find the right word for it. This looks a little bit finicky, I guess, that we have to first create a file and then have to enable the index on CloudKit console. That's the only approach I could find. There is another approach where you don't have to index, but you will get a record ID for the file which has been created, but then you will have to save the record ID on your server, which again, I don't want to use a server. That's why I'm using iCloud, right? You can't really show that record ID inside your app, because your app can get uninstalled and then you will lose it. So let me first run the application. Okay guys, so here is the output. I'll just click on this button 1, and if you see, Hopefully you should be able to see something inside the, so file was created successfully. Now like I said, I'm already inside the proper iCloud container. I have already selected it, so make sure you select it. And I'll just refresh this because it creates a new record type. We have to refresh it. Okay, and again make sure you are in the private database. You have selected proper iCloud container and record type. Here you can see file storage. Now before I read it, if I try to do query records, here you can see it is telling me type is not indexable, so you won't be able to read it. So you have to go to indexes. You have to click on this plus button. Record type is file storage, type is queryable, and field is you can select what, you don't select this file field, uh, that can't be made queryable. I don't know, I think this record name is created by default, so I'll just select that record name, and here also I'll just give the same thing, record name. I'll just click on add, and now if I go to records, I'll go to private database, go to file storage, I'll click on query records, and here you can see here is our file. Now let's go and click on the second button, and hopefully we should be able to read the contents. Here you can see hello iCloud. Now I will just update, so I'll just click on the third button, and here you can see file successfully updated. If I will try to read that contents as well by clicking on the second button, and here you can see this is the updated iCloud content. I'll just delete this, then I'll click on fourth button, which will delete the iCloud file. So here you can see file has been deleted. Now if I first go to iCloud console, if I just do query records again, here you can see file has been deleted, and if I try to read it again, here you can see I'm getting no content found. One more thing, let's just test it. I'm little confused. So I'll click on the first button, it will create the file for us. Click on query records. Okay, so here is my file. I'll click on the third button now, which will update the file. I'm little worried, like does it creates a new file? No, it creates the same file. Okay, I got confused maybe. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.